Welcome to the Call Before Showing podcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Allison, and we're here to talk to you about the real ups and downs of being in the real estate business.
Let's get to it.
Let's do it. Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to the Call Before Showing podcast. This is Allison, and I am here with my co-host, Alex Aldridge. Hey, girl.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I am just having a busy week. Aren't we all? It's that time of year.
Yes. So we were talking before we got on air that we wanted to start something new at the beginning of podcasts.
I thought it would be good for us if we started each episode talking about a victory that we have had in the last week. And for those of you listening, you should think about a victory that you had too, because I think that we are all sometimes a little hard on ourselves and feeling like we're maybe not doing enough or we could always be doing better. And sometimes I think it's good to stop and think about what you've done that's good.
Yes, absolutely. So what is yours? Do you have one in mind, or you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay. So I currently am on freaking vacation.
That is an amazing victory.
Yes. So if you hear any weird stuff in the background, I'm on a vacation with the rest of my family. So we're in a big beach house in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. So if you hear any like, oh my gosh, it's all my aunts upstairs.
That sounds so nice.
Yeah. So I have people watching my business while I'm gone, and I have checked in, but I have been pretty good about keeping my phone somewhere else. Like right now, my phone is upstairs.
Wow, that makes me anxious, but I'm so happy for you.
What about you?
I think that's really good. That's really good and healthy. So good for you. Yesterday, I was able to get one of my buyers to commit to writing an offer on something.
Nice.
It's definitely the personality type that wants to see everything that's out there. And he even wanted to see properties right before sitting down to write an offer. And so I told him, honestly, I say this from the nicest place, but I don't think you're ready for this. And he was kind of taken aback. And I was like, yeah, if you're wanting to see more stuff, like right before we're going to write an offer on something, I just don't think you're ready. I just don't think you've made up your mind.
Right.
And so he thought about it while we went to the next two showings. And at the end, he was like, I'm ready. I'm ready to stop searching. Let's just do this.
Nice.
And so I was like, well, that's cool. Because I definitely did not think that we were going to be writing that offer. So.
Well, and I think a very important part of our job is being able to call our clients out on their shit very nicely.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So kudos to you for doing that and having him kind of check himself.
Yeah.
Because my question that I always ask people in that situation is, will you be pissed if somebody buys it before you?
Right. And I didn't bring that up, but I did tell him, I don't want to go into this deal with you wanting to see other houses while we're under contract. So if you feel like that's going to be the case, let's just not do this. Let's just wait. You don't have a deadline. I can wait as long as you need. And he really was just like, no, F it, let's do this. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. I should tell everyone that I don't want them to write offers and see what happens. Oh, man. Okay, so we have it should be a really fun episode for you guys today. We are going to talk about some trashy TV.
Yes.
Trashy real estate TV, to be exact. There is a new show on Netflix. It's been around for, I think, a month or two. It's called Selling Sunset, and it is prime trashy reality TV. And we're very excited to talk to you about it.
It's like The Hills / Laguna Beach and real estate.
Yeah, it's definitely like The Hills meets Property Brothers.
Yeah.
And I don't even watch Property Brothers. Actually, I've seen it in a doctor's office before, but it's two twin brothers, right?
Yeah, it's two twin brothers.
Yeah, well, this is two twin brothers too.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's so many twins in real estate.
Seriously. It's a good marketing tactic. Oh, you get both of us for one.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. The article that I have pulled up describing the different characters literally says, and I quote, If you close your eyes and imagine the cast of The Hills all grew up to become real estate agents and start their own reality show, you basically have Netflix's new reality soap, Selling Sunset.
Yeah, I basically should be a
Journalist.
journalist.
Yeah, clearly. You're obviously qualified. We all heard it.
Selling Sunset. Alex, when she first brought this up, was like, you need to watch this show. And I said, I think it will give me so much anxiety. I don't want to watch it because I don't want to like work while I'm supposed to not be working.
Yeah. And I think it's not really like HGTV. It doesn't feel like anything that's on HGTV. And I think that's what makes it not stressful. It's more centered around the drama between the different agents than it is centered around really any transactions. I mean, there's a little bit of drama around transactions, but it's so phony that you don't manage to like put yourself in their shoes and actually get stressed out.
Right.
And literally every single offer they place gets accepted. Like, it's just ridiculous. So it surrounds a company called the Oppenheim Group, which is founded by two twin brothers, and their names are Jason and Brett. And they so conveniently have a team of 6 gorgeous women working for them.
Yes.
No dudes, no uglies, just a bunch of babes. It's realistic, right?
Yes. Well, it was so funny because when Josh got home from work, he caught me watching it and was like, what the hell is this? And he was like, oh, wow. So are all real estate offices in LA like that? And I was like, I don't know.
Absolutely not.
I have no idea. Where like, you know, where I live, like I wouldn't be able to make money in LA because I'm not like wearing heels and
No, not at all. You have your same like franchise companies that are everywhere in LA, and you have your dingy little offices and all of that. I mean, yeah, I think that like the really high end brokers in LA are definitely all going to be
sexy.
super sexy. Yeah, I mean, LA is the land of the pretty people. Like, people don't go there to do real estate. People go there to be models and actresses and musicians and stuff. And so the Botox overfloweth.
Yeah.
In LA.
Well, and I just am so salty about like one house giving you like a $200,000 commission.
I know, it's so crazy.
But good for them.
Good for you.
Good for
We're fine. We're not jealous. It's fine. Okay, so who's your favorite character?
It's hard because I thought I would say Mary, but then as you get farther into it, her relationship is questionable with her boyfriend / person.
Romaine.
Romaine, yeah, which yesterday, what did I say? I thought his name was?
You were like, she has this boyfriend with this crazy name. It's like bruschetta or something. Kind of the name of a lettuce, so close
like,
enough.
What the hell, Alison? So on the real estate side of things, I think I identify most with Mary. Like, it seems like she really cares about her clients and stuff like that.
My favorite, I have 2 that I prefer. I like Maya.
Oh, I love Maya.
And I like Heather. I like Heather because she's not involved in any drama at all. Like, at all. She's really just focusing on her work.
Well, but she and Christina had a little spat. That one time that Christina's listing wouldn't open the door for them.
She got mad at Christina. Okay, this was so dumb. So, guys, if you're listening to this, I hope you've seen the show, because if not, you're not going to understand much of this. But if you're listening to this episode, like, you have to watch the show. If not, it's not going to be entertaining for you. So, yeah. So there's this scene where the lockbox isn't working, or she's not able to get into the house. Oh, no. The housekeeper wasn't there to let them in.
Yeah, the house manager didn't unlock the door, and I don't think that they had a lockbox on it.
Yeah, where are the lockboxes? Do they not do lockboxes on these fancy houses? Like,
yeah, like they just walk in.
This doesn't make any sense. I think that is a load of crap. I think that was done just to bring drama, which, I mean, that's what they do in all of these reality shows. But she got so mad at her for not being able to get into the house. It was like such an ordeal. It was just like, come back later. It's going to be okay.
Right. But I do get that, like, it's embarrassing when, like, you can't get a door open for a client. Like, I've gotten to a house, and it's not my fault, but, like, the lockbox doesn't have the key in it. And you're like, what the hell? You know, that was just a waste of all of our time. So I hear her. I would be pissed, too.
Yeah, I've had that situation happen, but I don't think I would ever be pissed at the listing agent. Like, it's not her fault. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
this is like, in real estate, there are so many variables all the time that you have to be able to distinguish what is someone's fault and what is just something that happens.
Yeah.
You know, and like recover from those things really quickly and not let your client see you getting like pissed off and like telling off another agent.
Oh, yeah. And that definitely didn't happen in front of a client. I would definitely judge her a little bit more for that if it happened right in front of the client.
Yeah.
But what other big things, like, do you remember that you were like, were either big cringy moments or...
I thought that the part where... Oh, actually, I would like to say, for the record, Chriselle is the one that has listings in the Valley and lives in the Valley. And there's kind of this like, she's from the Valley. Like, okay, people that live in like Hollywood and LA and stuff think that the Valley is like trash.
Okay.
And it's really funny because the Valley is like, yeah, part of it is definitely trash. But I was born in the Valley. And fucking George Clooney lived in the Valley. Like, so many beautiful houses and like celebrities live in the Valley. And it's kind of this like place away from all of the craziness. And so I just thought it was funny that they have the like the one that's like not as good as everyone else working in the Valley.
Yeah. There was one cringy moment for me that I was watching that I think it's in the first episode where Maya, who's like this sweet nugget, like she's just so nice. And she has this client that is like a playboy, and she's showing him a house, and he like lays on the bed and is like, come sit by me. He is
so gross.
And yeah, and then like,
so cringy.
I'll only buy this pool if you model in the pool with it. Like, if you get in the pool and model it, like, show that part to me.
And then after totally basically harassing her, she agrees to go to lunch with him. And he's like, I've got to be honest, I'm talking to other agents and it's just going to be up to the one that like wants to get to know me. Like, are you saying that she needs to...
And she's like, by the way, I'm married. And he's like, I don't care. He's in Miami. And
yeah, how trashy. It's so trashy.
Oh, God.
Oh, my.
I just was like, you know what? There's one good thing about being like a very average looking, like not sexy agent. And it's
You are a very sexy agent.
It's that I don't get hit on like that, because I would be like, go fuck yourself.
That is so crazy. Like, I don't know if that's really that realistic.
I mean, I think it happens for sure.
Probably in like bigger cities, yeah. It's so gross.
But it's so sad because she said something that was like, well, you just kind of have to go with it because you want to make the sale. And I was like, no, you don't.
You don't. Like, ugh, that's so gross. And like, that's how people are out there at the top, because they think that like they're using their power. They have the power to like buy this house. And I just can't ever see myself making that big of a decision based on like whether or not I could get laid.
Right.
So what was another... Oh, I think that it's funny that they get these deals done in one phone call.
Yes. They're like, okay, my client is offering $9.8 million. They don't talk about closing costs. They don't talk about closing date. They don't talk about any other terms, but they're like, my client is offering this. And then they're like, they accepted your offer. And I'm like, that's not an offer. That's just a price.
Yeah, that's super crazy. And then part that I just laughed at was when Chriselle is doing this deal. I mean, she meets the buyer's agent at the listing, and they keep like walking away to the corner to call their clients and come back to the middle and like state their terms.
Oh, yeah. I think that was actually Heather, because it was Heather's listing that like the staging got messed up.
Oh my gosh, the staging was hilarious. She's like, okay, I want really like classic, clean, a lot of white, And then what does she end up putting in there?
She puts like a cowhide rug and this like tribal blanket.
It's so funny. Like, I don't know if you know this, but all of that is like clearly scripted.
Oh gosh,
Yeah.
it has to be.
It's just so funny. Like, could you imagine? And then they blame the staging thing on her. And like, what I don't like is that
the brokers.
I don't love how the brokers like coach and mansplain and like talk to them.
Like, you need to get better at this. You need to. I'm like,
you need to step up your game, and this better be the last time you disappoint me. And like,
yeah,
there is no, like, these women have so many choices of other brokerages they could go to. There's no way that you're really talking to them like that. I just don't see how it's possible.
Well, and one that I really was like, what the hell, man, was when Chriselle had a listing that she got an offer on, but it was contingent on the sale of another house.
Right.
And they were like, that's cool. You can get all three sides. Like, you can list their house and sell you their house and help them buy this one, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they got to like the end of their contingency period and they were going to basically like back out. And she walked up to one of the twins. I can never tell the difference between either one of them, and said that that they were walking and she didn't have a backup offer.
Mm-hmm.
And he flipped his
railed
lid
her, yeah,
about like not having a backup offer and how irresponsible that was and whatever. And she's a new agent. Like, she doesn't know. Maybe she does. I don't know. Was she an agent before she joined the Oppenheim group?
She said that she was. They don't treat her like she was, but she said that she was.
Yeah.
But also, she's married to like, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not nice. I don't like when people do that to me. I'm not going to say she doesn't need the money. She can still work hard even though she doesn't need the money.
Right.
So, okay, can we talk about that ridiculously like huge house that they're building?
Oh, yes. The $40 million one. Yeah.
Holy crap.
That looks amazing. But also, I just don't know why someone would need that.
Oh, no one needs it, but like,
they're like selling a fantasy. This is what they sell.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah, they're selling
They're
a
not
lifestyle.
selling real estate. They're selling a lifestyle and like sexy fantasies about having the best house ever.
Yeah, exactly. We did a which Selling Sunset character quiz are you? And what did you get?
I got Maya.
Which is so sweet because I love her.
Yeah, I think it was because I chose the really cute, like, cottagey looking house.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I got Christine. I don't know how. I apparently am a huge bitch.
That's not true. She has a soft spot.
It says you're a tough nut to crack. You take a while to warm up to newbies and seem standoffish at first, but inside you're just a big softie. You're accomplished in your career but have an insatiable hunger for more, which can sometimes mean that you focus too much on work and not enough on life.
Okay.
They're basically calling me a bitch. She's like, let me explain to you why you're a bitch, and it's okay.
Why you're a bitch.
It's okay that you're a bitch, Alex.
Well, no. So, like, it's funny because I think she just got, like, a really bad edit and all of that.
They had to choose a villain.
Right. And I think she got a bad edit because if you remember when Chriselle and Christine, is it Christine or Christina? Christine. Okay. So when they were like fighting for the same buyer, like that buyer wanted to interview two agents to figure out which one they wanted. Do you remember that?
My goodness. That was another cringy part. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Finish your point and then we'll talk about it.
Okay, so when they were like fighting for that client, she seemed really sweet to the client, you know?
She did. She has her moments.
But then when she didn't win, she did like the roll her eyes and flipped her hair and walked away thing.
So in what world does a client call a company and say, I want two of your agents and I'm going to like court both of them and then decide between the two of them?
Right.
That's so ridiculous.
I think it's one thing to say, hey, I want both of your skills and work something out with the broker to figure out something.
That's what they thought it was going to be. They thought like maybe they were going to be working together. And then she got there and she was like, no, I'm pinning you guys against each other. And now I'm going to interview both of you in front of each other. That is so crazy.
Right. Well, yeah. And Chriselle was really smart by being like, oh, you go ahead and go first, Christine, because then she could be like, okay, I agree with all of that, but then I'm going to be better because of XYZ. So,
I know.
Yeah. How
That's
awkward.
so awkward.
How
like, what
awkward.
would you and I do in that position? We would probably be like, just go with her. Like, just save me the problem.
Right. I'm like, actually, you know what? Let me refer you to somebody that
Yeah.
is neither of us, because that's like kind of
That's like a dick move.
weird.
So, Chriselle's first open house.
Okay. So wait, let's talk about the showing of them like walking with their heels with their little open house signs.
Gosh, these outfits are so unrealistic. They're wearing 6-inch heels at building sites.
Right. So they walk with their cute little sign and they put it out and they're in their cute little outfit. I'm like, when I do that, I feel like I'm a sweaty cow walking through grass and getting wet because it's raining outside. Yeah. I'm like,
Basically.
wow, this is so not my life.
Yeah.
Every single time they did put those open house signs out, I was like, I cried a little bit inside because that's my least favorite part about doing open houses.
Yeah. I used to have a guy go and put them up for me because I hated doing it so much.
Yeah. Ugh, I hate it.
If I'm going to wear heels to an open house, which I rarely do because why? When I have really cute flats. But like I definitely do not put them on until like the moment the open house is starting, and then I take them off the moment it's over and switch back into my flats.
Yeah. So what I wrote down was, I agree. I don't wear heels. I'm too tall anyways. But so for her first open house that is filmed, on the show, it kind of showed her being alone by herself in the house. And I just like felt it. Like I was like, yes.
Oh,
yes.
So relatable. That is the most relatable moment of the entire series, is her being alone in the open house and kind of like looking at her watch and pacing back and forth and just wondering if anything's going to happen. And then when that first person comes in, that excitement and kind of like you almost like jump on them because you're so excited to have someone there. Very relatable content.
Yeah, and you realize you don't have flyers, so you like run to the kitchen to grab flyers for them. So good. But then later on in that open house, it was a house that had an elevator in it. And so I guess they were on the 3rd floor. And she was like, great, I'll meet you on the main floor. And so she walks down the stairs to meet them at the elevator. And the elevator is one of those that's like clear, so you can see the elevator. And it just continues to go down.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good moment.
I was like, oh my God, this would totally be me.
Yeah.
Like I would totally be that person that's like, all right, I pushed the button for you. And then it goes to the wrong floor.
I think that Chriselle is really going through the most relatable stuff
Oh, definitely.
out of everyone, because everyone else like seems to have it together, but in a way that doesn't make sense. Like the way that, like all of the front doors are just left open. And like another thing is that sometimes they walk in with purses and I'm like, why are you taking your purse into a showing? Like that doesn't make sense to me at all. Do you take a purse into a showing?
No, I usually I have a little key remote thing, and so I put that in a pocket or hold it, and so I leave my purse in my car and lock the door for my car.
What do you need to take your purse into a showing for? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, like if anyone wants to rob me, I'm a real estate agent, I don't make that much money, so.
And then when they walk into a place, the lighting is already set, everything's already on, like it's just waiting for them. It's definitely a fun little fantasy world to travel to for a few hours.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it's, grown women like sitting in an office and just talking about their personal lives and stuff. And it's like, I wonder what it's like when they're not filming.
Probably boring because they're probably actually getting work done.
Right.
Honestly, I'm not a big fan of Mary.
Really?
Yeah, I just think her whole romance is like really
weird.
Yeah, like it just doesn't. I don't see any chemistry. They don't understand each other. And in the conversations they're having, I mean, the producers must be telling her to ask these questions that she's not comfortable with to him because she's seeming very pushy.
Yeah.
And he seems very much like he doesn't understand what she's saying, or that he like doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then she like she can't even talk to him, and she's like, this is the man that I want to marry and I do want to have more babies with him. And I'm like, but you don't understand him. Like, yeah, he's hot, but like besides that, like, what else are you guys gonna do?
I just loved Mary at the beginning because she was so welcoming to Chriselle. And I feel like Chriselle is
she's sweet.
I feel like I love Chriselle, but then also she is like doing some...
She's very manipulative.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I don't know that I like really any of them. I like Maya.
Yeah, Maya's cool. She seems just super down to earth and like really tells it like it is. Heather, I like her because I feel like for the most part she stays out of things and she like works hard, and her biggest conflict seems to be like proving herself in career wise. I like that about her and Christine.
Yeah.
But also I think she's the prettiest. Every single person on the show has Botox and fillers and like probably lip and cheek fillers. And
really?
Absolutely. I mean, Mary absolutely has a boob job.
Yeah.
For sure. I think Maya might be natural. But yeah, Mary has definitely fake lips and tatas. And honestly, guys, I have nothing against these things. Like, I want to get Botox one day. I don't think I ever want to get lip fillers, but that's because I already have pretty voluptuous lips. Yeah, Maya is like very natural and gorgeous looking, and she's just beautiful.
Yeah, but it's still likable, I think.
It's so entertaining.
I thought I would hate it.
You can't help but love looking at the beautiful houses. There's one house that Mary sells to this kind of like hippie looking chick.
Oh yeah.
And I thought it was a really cute house.
It's the little like cozy one that has the little
it's
pool.
on Mulholland.
And then she left. Yeah, and she left and she was so sad because she was like, I want to buy a house with romaine lettuce like that one day.
Yeah, exactly. So Mulholland is this street that you like drive up and it looks over the entire city. And since the time I was like 16, I would drive up there with my friends in the middle of the night and we would sit and like look over the city, and it's a magical place. I will take you there one day if we ever make it. Okay. I just wanted to share that.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I think you have like an extra like love for the show because it has like vanity beautiful shots of like a place that you love already.
Parts of it, but parts of it are like, I definitely didn't grow up on Sunset or any of that. Like, I'm not super familiar with that area, but when I see like shots of the valley and stuff, I'm like, home.
Those were my favorite parts. I took notes, guys. Alex didn't take any notes.
I know, and I watched it a while ago. I didn't take any notes. I'm just the worst.
Then there's just like all the drama, which I don't really care about.
Well, just the drama that they're like, this is how you know that like reality shows really have to, a lot of the time, really have to kind of like scrape for some kind of conflict to make it interesting. And the things that they're fighting over aren't interesting. So they really had to scrape to get those. I don't know if it's going to come out for another season, to be honest, because it left on such a weird ending, didn't it?
Yeah, it was just like Chriselle and Christine being mad at each other.
Yeah, it was such a weird ending. Nothing was resolved, but nothing was really left on a cliffhanger either. It was just like, okay, we ran out of episodes, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
That's Selling Sunset. I wonder if anyone watches that and thinks that's really what the real estate business is.
I don't think people do. My brother-in-law watches it. He said, every single time I watch it, I just envision you. And I'm like, oh, that must not be what it's really like. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Because of like the bags under my eyes. Like, fuck you, dude. But the bags under my eyes and the fact that I only wear flats, thanks.
That's so funny.
It's worth a watch, though.
It's definitely entertaining. And it kind of makes me feel like I would like one day to sell some $1 million homes.
Yeah, because I would really like a $200,000 commission.
I mean, I'll even take a $20,000 commission. I'd be happy with that.
Yesterday, I got a $2,000 commission and I was pumped.
Get to buy groceries.
Holla.
Well, thanks so much for listening to this episode. We had a great time chatting. And if you watch the show, let us know what you think. Have a beautiful day. Think about your victories.
And go on vacation.
Try to go on a vacation. And if you can't go on a vacation, you can still do something wonderful for yourself at home.
Yes.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Love ya. Bye.